Yay. You must prove that you have truly changed by risking your own life to save another. Rescue our scout from the clutches of the One, and we will consider helping you. Maybe I can negotiate with the One to release your hostage. We would prefer if you could find some way to save the prisoner without bloodshed, but we don't believe that will be possible. The One does not like to negotiate. So if I save the prisoner, you'll help me? Risking your life to save the prisoner would show us that you are sincere about making amendments for the past. I'll be back after I rescue the prisoner. The prisoner is being held in the chamber of the One himself. Return to us once he is free. Until then, you have to run. You have free run of our enclave. Yay! The elders have offered to get you inside the temple of the ancients if you rescue one of their tribe being held hostage in the camp of the One. He's the One. The One of the Matrix. I have to kill Neo. Yes, Reverend, is there anything you need? I want to ask you some questions. What can I tell you? I have a question about you, your tribe, your history, the temple. You can speak to the Horus of the Keeper of History. I want you to know more about the history of the Rakata Empire. Our history is a long one, but it is also filled with bloodshed and sorrow. Once the Rakata ruled all the unknown galaxy, but our empire was destroyed by our own corruption. Nice. If you wish to know more about it, you should speak to the Keeper of History. I'll be back to rescue the prisoner. Shut up! I'm so violent. Cage. The One will not let the others live. The cage is locked. If we survive, you will all know the wrath of the Rakata. The wrath of the Rakata will consume you all. Our work is the future of our tribe rests with this. Researcher. You have returned at last, Reverend. I was beginning to wonder what happened to you in the temple. You know me? We had met previously when last you entered our enclave. Many years ago, you inquired as to my research then as well. You came here and gained access to the temple and were never heard from again. Some thought you might have betrayed us to the others, but they were never able to penetrate our defenses. But if you help us now, then the time taken is nothing. Is there anything else you require? What are you doing? What am I doing? You mean the purpose of my research here? Yes. What is your research? As you may have heard from our historians, in our distant past, we melded technology and the Force to create truly wondrous effects. We guide ships across the galaxy using our power and incorporated its use into all aspects of our society. But something happened. Somewhere. Somewhere. Far, far away. What happened? There are a variety of theories on what happened. Perhaps we became immune to the effects of the Force from overuse. Perhaps our breeding habits rendered our species insensitive to it over time. None truly know. The only disconcertable result was that we can no longer command the Force as we had. The Force had escaped us. With its loss, our technology could no longer hold us as far above the subjugated races we ruled, and our empire began to crumble. The races we subjugated rose up. Plagues swept our world. We could do nothing against those calamities. In the end, only the members of our race left here, on our homeworld, survived. So what is... Okay, no Rakata can use the Force? Every once in a while there is an individual born who has an affinity for the Force. Maybe not the ability to use it directly, but at least the ability to remain open to it. I believe this is a sign that whatever genes our species had that gave us the ability to use the Force are not completely gone. Perhaps when the ancestors of the current tribes fled beneath the surface, some retained this trait. We have been working for years to isolate this gene and intend to resurrect it in our species as well. We of the others do not have Force sensitivity ourselves, but by harnessing the genetic structure of other tribes, we hope to be able to breed the gene back into our species. You're capturing prisoners? For their genes? You make it seem like monsters. Truly we are not. We capture them, yes, but only because the tribes have become extremely xenophobic and their millennia trapped on this world. They would not aid us willingly and killed our messengers when we asked. We believe that if we get large enough genetic sample, we can reintroduce the recessive Force-sensitive genes back into our people, allowing us to once again access the heritage of our past. Heritage, you mean the temple? Yes, the temple. It has only been entered by those sensitive to the Force, so it has been buried to us for ages. What we may find inside will allow us to lift the other tribes out of the barbarism into which they have fallen and restore us to a productive force in the galaxy. You're trying to restore your empire, aren't you? No, we do not want to fall down the path that's so twisted our people before. This time perhaps we can redeem ourselves in the eyes of the galaxy and become a force of good. How close are you finishing your research? We are quite far along, having had centuries to work already, but the arrival of another tribe on our island, we have been restricted on our movements to just our enclave. We have captured a few of their warriors, but the one that recently interested us is their leader. The One! The One? What's special about him? Those with the genes we seek seem to be marked with a destiny that calls them to rise above the others as we did as a species early on. In hearing the stories, this word tells of the One. We believe that he may hold some of the genes we seek. He may be nearing force sensitivity. Unfortunately, he and his people are too much aggressive and violent for us to study him. His corpse will not do either, as only a living, working body is to use of us. Maybe in time, though, the differences in our peoples will lessen enough that we may study one another and gain the information we need. What kind of information do you need? Genetic data drives changes over the millennia, the specific data on exceptional individuals. If only we had access to the knowledge of our ancestors. They must know much more than us. They had a much greater population sample to work with. I believe that at the temple there may be information we seek, perhaps in the old archives or scrolls, maybe even in ancient computer, if any is still functioning. This information will help us greatly in our work, and we will be grateful to you for it. Okay, I have to go. You have discovered the elders in researching their genetic history of the people and the intent to make them force sensitive again. They believe that this will allow them to peacefully re-enter galactic society. They think there may be information stored in the temple that could help them. Wait, I just saw Cage. No, never mind. They're praying to Buddha. Keep it. Shut up. Let's do it again. Damn. Oh shit, look at that. Oh wow. It's got R2-D2 sound. Don't mind me. Sounds like a crab. Keeper. Greetings once again, Revan. I am glad to see that you have returned. I couldn't believe that you had betrayed us, despite what the council said. Who are you? My name was Orsa. I am the keeper of history for the elders. The last time you were here, you had many questions for me. The council told us all of the destruction of your memories, but still I hope you might recall something of our past discussion. I wish I could remember, but I don't. Sorry. There is no need to apologize. It just pains me to know that all you had learned from me has been forgotten. Still, I will be happy to instruct you again. Actually, I do have a few questions for you. Yes, of course, although you must forgive me if some of this starts to seem familiar. After all, we did go into the history of the Rakata at some length in the last time you were here. I will do my best to enlighten you with the knowledge I hold. What subject do you wish to learn about? Tell me the beginnings of the Rakata Empire. Long ago, we Rakata were once a great spacefaring people. Our ships combined technology and the power of the Force. That's nice. And we were able to pilot them to the furthest reaches of the galaxy. Everywhere we went, we found civilizations less advanced and weaker than our own. But instead of helping them advance, we conquered and enslaved them. How nice. Back then, we could still command the Force. That, combined with our advanced technology, made our march to conquest irresistible. Soon, the Infinite Empire stretched across the entire galaxy. Over time, we lost our ability to use the Force. Some believe we had used the Force for so long that we evolved biologically and became immune to it. In any case, once we lost our sensitivity to the Force, our empire began to fracture. We had to revert to a more conventional space travel through inferior technology. Our ultimate collapse was inevitable. How did the Rakata Empire collapse? Long ago, the Rakata ruled all known galaxies. All the species bowed down to us, but we were a corrupt people, and in our fall from glory, there were terrible lessons that must be learned. The Infinite Empire was built on slaughter. It was inevitable. It should collapse upon itself. War, plague, and slave rebellion forced us to retreat back here to our hidden homeworld. Here, conflict among our power-hungry warlords escalated to full civil war. Terrible weapons of mass destruction were unleashed, driving most of the Rakata far beneath the earth for shelter. The devastation ravaged the world. Our people were scattered, our cities leveled, and our very existence all but erased. The glory of the Infinite Empire is now nothing but dust and bones. In the past few thousand years, small bands of Rakata have begun to return to the surface, but they are primitive and superstitious creatures. Only we elders remember anything of the true past. Do you know how to disable the disruptor field that caused my ship to crash? The disruptor field is one of the ancient defenses of the Star Forge. A great generator within the Temple of the Ancients fuels it. You have to enter the temple to disable it. How nice. Alright, let's see, how did that tell me about the tribe of the Elders. We Elders are descendants of the holy priest caste of the Infinite Empire, survivors of the terrible weapons unleashed by the warlords during the final collapse of our empire. Inside the Temple of the Ancients, our ancestors were saved from the devastation that forced the other Rakata to flee underground. We emerged from the temple to find an empty and ruined land. At last, we understood the terrible power of our own technology. To ensure it could never be unleashed upon us again, we sealed the ancient technology within the temple. Okay, I have to go now. Oh wow, I gain experience for talking about it. That's cool. What do you about the other Rakata tribes here? Many centuries ago, the other Rakata began to emerge from the underground warrens where they had sought shelter from the devastation of the warlords. But these Rakata were as violent as the warlords they had fled millennia ago. After centuries of battle and bloodshed, the tribe of the One has emerged as the strongest of them all. The One, lured by half-remembered legends of his people, lusts to possess the terrible power locked inside the temple. We can never allow this to happen. Have you tried reasoning with the One? When the One first arrived on this planet, we sent emissaries under a flag to trace the tribe of truce to negotiate with this tribe, but all of our envoys were brutally slaughtered. How nice. We do have the technology to destroy the One and its followers, but if we kill them all, then we will only prove that we have learned nothing over the past 20,000 years. The One is mad with power. He chose not to fight him. So our only course of action is to stay here in isolation where we are safe. Just as we have done for the past 20,000 years. It's over 9,000 years. That's something else. We can tell me about the Star Forge. Much of our knowledge of the Star Forge is lost. It was built during the height of the Infinite Empire long ago. All we know is that it cast a terrible shadow across our world. We others have longed to destroy the Star Forge for many generations to cleanse ourselves of its evil presence, but we have neither the knowledge nor the capability. When you and Malik first came here, we saw you as saviors. We let you into the temple so you could destroy the Star Forge, but instead you harnessed its dark power for yourselves. You awakened a dormant evil. Your fleet helped spread the corruption of the Star Forge throughout the galaxy, and now you return as our last hope to stop what you once started. Okay, that's it. User verification. User species. Non-Rakata. Access to auxiliary archives is restricted to Rakata or approved servants. Slaves may not access the archives. I do serve the Rakata. How else do I learn their language? Logical. User speaks the language of Rakata in order to serve them. User added to authorized list of non-Rakata. Further information can be obtained from the main archives within the Temple of the Ancient. Downloading codes to bypass exterior energy fields surrounding temple. My archives are ready for information retrieval and download into remote datapad storage. Please select a topic. I am looking for the secrets of the ancient Rakata. Searching, retrieving information. These secrets are locked within the Temple of the Ancients. The Elders seal the information away to prevent the technology from falling into the wrong hands. How can I get to the temple? Searching. The shield is restricted by the Elders to guard